Ian Rapoport has become one of the biggest insiders in the NFL game. Going scoop for scoop with Adam Schefter, he and Schefter are now slated to be teammates soon as NFL Network is becoming a part of ESPN. We'll get into all of that and how Rapoport joined Schefter, Jay Glazer, Diana Rossini, and more, battling scoop for supremacy in the NFL. Ian Rapoport, you are the main event. Look, I like to start fast here. So I don't want to start with a football question. I want to start with a baseball question. You're a Met fan, you poor soul. How did that happen? Why are you a Met fan?
I do love the Mets. People always ask me, like, all right, like really, like, who's your team? I won't tell anyone. And I'm like, I only have one team, and it is the Mets. I've been a Mets fan since 1986. That's kind of when I started to realize my love for baseball. And, like, as big a fan of my job I am, and as much as I love football, I grew up as a baseball fan. And so during those years when you're 6, 7, 8, 9, the Mets were the team. They were the coolest. They were winning a lot. That's something that stuck with me. And, like, I'm still a Mets fan to this day, probably as hardcore as you can be while also doing the football thing full time and having a family and all of that. I mean, I watch basically every Mets game, not usually on the main TV, but on the second TV.
Okay.
I go to several games with the fam. I'm very optimistic this year. I was very optimistic last year until about June when I realized the team wasn't good enough. But I'm very optimistic this year.
All right, we're presented by WSC Sports. I want to get into all that, but we're going to go focus on the NFL. But let me ask you this. In 86, when the ball goes through Bill Buckner's legs, how old are you and where are you?
I was 6. So I have a couple memories from that postseason, just real quick, because I know you want to get to football stuff. I had swim practice it must have been mid-October or whenever that was. And I was upset that I was going to miss the Mets-Astros playoff game. And so I finished swim practice, and I come back, and they're like, the game is still going on. I'm like, how is that possible? You never quite can tell what's real and what's not, but my memory is I was upset about missing Mets-Astros, must have been game 6, and then realizing the game was still going on, which would then end up going on forever. When the ball went through Buckner's legs, which was also in game 6, but the other series, I was sitting on my parents' couch in the room we called the library. It was like this old kind of like maroon leather couch. And I don't really react to things, which is still sort of the way I am. Like, I don't jump up and down and like high five. Like, I'll give a fist bump, but that's it. But I remember just sitting there and watching it unfold and like not being able to believe it. And then being like, did we win? Oh, wait, we didn't win? Why do we have to play another game? And like, these are the sorts of things that come to mind.
We're going to move past baseball, get deep into football. When I have Schefter, I had him on, I have Rapoport on. The phone, like, you've already looked at least 3 times. So if you need to, stay and look, I got to break a story. I mean, how many texts do you get? Like, how often are you texting? I mean, I text a lot too. We all text a lot, but how much are you texting? I
would say on days like today, which are not busy days, probably a few hundred. And like, part of the weird thing is that, I have group texts with my buddies from town, and then I have group text with my family, and I have group text with my high school buddies from Westchester. And like, everyone knows I'm very responsive. So like, you sort of feel the pull to respond all the time because that's what I do in work life. So I do just respond to texts all day long. But I would say during like, busy time, like the coaching search time, which was insane, probably more than 1,000, I would say.
That's crazy. All right. To listen to the rest of the podcast, andrewmarchand.com. Previously, we've had the Peter Kings of the world, Adam Schefter, as I mentioned, Jay Glazer, Peter Schrager, a lot of NFL insiders. So if you're interested in Rapoport, you'll be interested in those as well.